You could be a part of Unsportsmanlike Nation on the Dodger Prepper call-in line at 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. ESPN Nation is presented by Dr. Prepper. It's not college football season without the delicious taste of an ice-cold Dr. Prepper. College football, it's a pepper thing. In one of the most wild, insane games you'll ever see in your life, which I didn't see at the end, 6 hours and 39 minutes.
No,
that was like it was an hour ago that it ended, basically. Yep. Dodgers up 2-1, 6-5 win, 18 innings. She is Michelle Smallman running the marathon on Sunday. He is Chris Canty. I am Evan Cohen. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning to you, Evan Cohen. Good morning, Michelle Smallman. But most importantly, good morning to Pat Costello. Isn't Pat the guy that told us that Shohei Ohtani was not a postseason performer?
I believe so, yes.
Wasn't he that guy? I mean,
surely you have more important things to talk about than me right now.
No.
Yeah, remember
We're going
that,
to talk about that. Remember that, Pat? The I'm Over It segment? We're not talking enough about how Shohei Ohtani is not performing in the postseason.
Well, he wasn't.
Okay, all right.
Maybe I motivated him.
Yeah, okay.
2 homers, 2 doubles,
Woody
that
Johnson
solo shot that tied the game 5-5.
I'm just saying, 4 extra base hits, reached base 9 times, which is a World Series record.
He is so good.
Absolutely ridiculous. He works 5 walks, 4 of which were intentional. He was so dominant that John Schneider says, you know what, we're not going to let that guy beat us. Anybody can beat us. Even Freddie Freeman, who won World Series MVP the year before, we'd rather have him beat us than the inevitability of Shohei Ohtani.
Well, guess what? Freddie Freeman did beat them. Freddie Freeman was like, okay, you want to put it on my shoulders? I'm good.
That's a bet.
I'll be sure to handle my business. He's the first player in World Series history with multiple career walk-off home runs. He did it in Game 1 last year, that walk-off grand slam. And that's why this Dodgers team feels so inevitable, because they have so many guys that can step up in those clutch moments and make that magic happen. Whether it's Shohei Ohtani with multiple home runs, Freddie Freeman with a shot when it matters the most. You've got Tommy Edman making clutch defensive plays. They just are so loaded with talent. And if you told me heading into this game that it was going to be an 18-inning marathon and I had to pick a winner, I would say the team that has been there, done that, the team with so many stars with that muscle memory is going to be able to outlast the other team, and they did it.
Let's dive into some of the numbers and then get back to Ohtani, because the numbers are overwhelming. Will Klein, relief pitcher, 4 innings, no runs, 5 strikeouts for the Dodgers. The Dodgers used 10 pitchers in this game. That's a World Series record. One of those pitchers, you may have heard of him. He's in his last season in Major League Baseball. He's going to be a first ballot, unanimous, potentially Hall of Famer. Clayton Kershaw, top of the 12, 2 outs, 5-5 game, bases loaded, comes in. He gets out of that jam, and the Tommy Edman little flip to first base is small as just reference. How about Toronto with 19 runners left on base, a World Series record, just remarkable.
That's going to keep you up at night.
Well, they were already up at night because they had to play baseball.
George Springer injury will keep you up longer, though.
Yes, that's a problem. That's a problem. Let's get into the Ohtani part of this. You guys mentioned it. 4 of 4. Okay, that's the at-bats that count in the numbers there. 2 homers, 8 for the postseason, 2 doubles, 5 walks, 4 intentional, 3 ribbies, 14 for the postseason. Here's the wild thing. From after the 7th inning, there were in essence 11 innings, right? 10 or 11 innings, whatever.
Yeah, they basically played a doubleheader.
Yeah. So he went up 5 different times. They intentionally walked him 4 of them. And the 5th one where he walked, they just didn't intentionally do it. They just didn't throw him any pitches to hit. When we compare him to some of the greats of all time, which he already is, Bonds is the one that you're like, all right, well, there's Bonds, and then there may be in our lifetime, and then everybody else. Ken Griffey Jr. obviously right there with Bonds. He had a Bonds-like game last night, because the amazing thing with Bonds when he was at his peak was that they would walk him with the bases loaded and be like, I'd rather just face whoever's next and give him a run. I'd argue what Toronto did last night worked. As crazy as that sounds, and I don't, because he didn't score a run after that. I don't know, guys. Is he going to see another pitch the entire series?
They're going to have to pitch to him at some point.
Why?
They're going to have to. Because you've seen what that roster can do. They're flush with MVPs. So if you don't want to let Ohtani beat you, they got other guys that can beat you, whether it's Freddie Freeman or it's Mookie Betts, so on and so forth. You can't afford to continue to put guys on base and think that lineup isn't going to come through in a big spot. I would argue that they were fortunate last night with how many times Ohtani was able to reach base and how many guys that they were able to see on base, all of the traffic that they had for their pitchers. They were fortunate not to have the Dodgers put up a bigger number. So I don't know if that's something that's sustainable. I think that might be something that they use for the moment. But, I mean, How many games are the Dodgers going to go 2 of 14 with runners in scoring position?
Oof.
You know, for all of the things we're talking about, the guys left on base for the Blue Jays, the Dodgers left 18 guys on the bags. So how many games are you going to have where the rest of the lineup isn't going to come through? I don't think you're going to have many of those, which is why I think last night's game was an outlier. And of course, the manager for the Blue Jays, you got to feel the heartbeat of the game. It just made more sense based on what you've already seen from Ohtani with 4 extra base hits to see if somebody else could do it. And unfortunately for him, he found out that Andrew Freeman built the roster where there's always a guy other than Ohtani, the star, that can step up in a big spot.
Not many vulnerabilities on the Dodgers team.
Hell no. The vulnerability was the bullpen, and those guys came through.
They did.
Everybody said, you know what? If we can get to the Dodgers bullpen, we got a chance. If the Blue Jays can grind out the starting pitching, we got a chance. No, you don't. No, you don't.
And by the way, up until this moment in the postseason, it hasn't been an issue because Dave Roberts has let the starters go. So what was the vulnerability heading into the postseason hasn't really presented itself. But is this a wrap, you guys? I know that there's a lot of baseball left to play. I know that when teams get down in the World Series that they sometimes find a way back. I am a fan of a team that was down to their final strike twice and came back and won the World Series. So I know that the impossible can happen. But what a dispiriting loss. You're going 18 innings.
Yeah, that's dispiriting. Yeah.
It's a dispiriting loss.
No,
Right,
that's the word.
Word of the day.
That's the word.
Dispiriting.
Yes.
we
Causing
got?
someone to lose enthusiasm or hope, disheartening. This was a dispiriting loss, though,
You
for
worked
Toronto.
so hard to set that up. You didn't even answer the question that I asked both of you because you're like, I have to figure out a way of getting dispiriting it.
Because what is more dispiriting than what Toronto endured last night? An 18-inning marathon,
understand.
and you lose the game
That
on
is
a walk-off?
that is dispiriting.
I understand that.
You get that many guys on base, and you lose the game in 18 innings? There is no other way to describe this game other than dispiriting.
Oh, yeah, no other way. But I'd like Miss Baseball over there to answer the question that
About as
CC
subtle as a
answered.
gunshot, Smalls.
Can you answer the question? He says you have to still pitch to Ohtani. I say I don't think so. Would you, if you were the Blue Jays, pitch to Ohtani the rest of the series? They didn't pitch to him from innings 8 to 18, and the Dodgers only scored 1 run. CC's saying they got fortunate. There's no way that's replicable moving forward, that they're going to get burnt by that. Would you, Michelle Smallman, pitch to Ohtani the rest of the series?
So my answer is informed by a lived experience, and I would not pitch to him because I am a fan of the St. Louis Cardinals, who in 2013 kept attacking Big Papi at the plate thinking, oh, eventually we're going to get him. And guess what? He never cooled off. He single-handedly beat them in the 2013 World Series. So many people in St. Louis harken back to that and say, if you just would have avoided him at the plate, you would have had a chance. So I personally would not go after Ohtani.
So lead off tonight.
But to Cece's point, there are so many other guys in that lineup that you're concerned with.
It worked. Even though they lost last night, there's an argument it worked. John Schneider is the manager of the Blue Jays. Ironically, he's also the general manager of the Seahawks, who